What is going on, guys? Welcome to Horse Talk Live, another edition of the Pony Talk. I just have to let you know I'm so proud of my wife. She is doing such an amazing job preparing all of our new material. I had a client today tell me, "You guys have really leveled up," and I was like, "There's no we in this. My wife has really leveled up." I'm still out here sweating and working the ponies, but it looks good on the internet now, all thanks to Miss Kelsey. And as we are talking about the membership, do you know we are giving it away for free $99? We are giving our membership away, over 700 videos, all of this information that we've gathered from all around the world. We have been studying and working, and not only studying, but then going out and putting it to the test, putting it, where the rubber meets the road. Just going horse after horse, trying and testing this stuff out until we see what happens. We had a couple training horses go home today. We actually had an amazing week this past week. We got the first photo footage that I've ever had of a Gypsy Vanner roping team. A head horse and a heel horse, both Gypsy Vanners. Both of them were a little sketchy when they came, a little spooky, a little lazy. We got them both going, and also trained my students how to rope good enough where they can rope on the other end of the team. So proud of them guys too. We have Danny and Armando in right now as 6-month students. Armando was left-handed like I was 3 months ago and couldn't even get the rope around his head with his right hand. Not only did we get his rope switched to his right hand, but now he's catching consistently. And Miss Danny, it's her dream to be a team roper now, and she is catching. She is on fire. We'll probably have a rope practice tonight, as a matter of fact, because we are doing a clinic in Montana with Miss Chris. Miss Chris is an amazing woman from the wilderness of Montana and Alaska, and she came down through the academy program and did the Wrangler program for a couple years, and she is up there whipping butt. I remember when she was having issues with canter departures. Now she's winning rodeos and breakaway roping. Crazy. She actually has me signed up to do my first rodeo ever. I have never competed in my life in a rodeo, and my first time is going to be in Montana this weekend. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to borrow her horse and just jump ride it, and we're going to go in there and see if we can win a rodeo. We're going to give everybody a couple moments to hop on here, and we are going to start getting to it. So exciting.
Are you texting everybody to get ready for roping practice?
I am not.
You are so predictable. You're in a lie.
I'm not texting anybody to saddle horses and get the steers in the chute.
So predictable.
See, you can't have the wife around. Should tell on you. It sounded good, didn't it?
Yeah. No, like, what are you doing over there?
All right, guys, let's get to it. We are here to answer some questions. We just had an amazing video review call yesterday, and what I kept finding is the work only works if you put in the work. And then if you are putting in the work, but you're feeling frustration because you're not exactly there, so many of our followers were just one little adjustment. And we say, hey, bring your legs back just a little bit. Hey, drop your hands just a little bit. Hey, let's give you a little bridle change. Hey, let's free up that horse's face a little bit. What I want you to know is a lot of times we can have a mountain of frustration on our heads and we think that we're so close. So I love doing the video review and I love doing the Horse Talk Lives because a lot of times it's just one little mental switch goes from failure to success. Speaking of which, when I was at the roping, I was in a little bit of a roping slum. I had so much information. I have watched 1,000 videos on roping, and I had so much information, so much technique in my head that it was jumbling me up. And right before the last roping that I was able to win my first buckle, I saw 2 free videos, like just random videos on Facebook, a minute long videos, and they said, hey, just put the top strand on the hocks, which is as simple as that sounds. And that little mental switch was enough for me to start catching and be real successful in my roping. So hopefully we can answer some of your questions and give you some of those mental switches.
Do not start answering questions. yet. What was your one thing you were supposed to do?
I'm looking for something.
Go up to the top. No, you're not looking for questions.
Okay, up at the top.
Go all the horse guru ones. I'll give you the questions.
Okay.
So start the first horse guru announcement. Click it. Say it.
I don't see it.
You don't see them?
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we are. And Horse Guru announcement. Virtual horse training clinic this Friday, 7/29 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do you want to win a free retreat? Did I say free? Free 99. That means zero cost to you. Over a $3,000 value. You can get it for free if you watch the video when it comes out on YouTube Live. Check it out at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, we are starting to put out content like nobody's business. We've been shooting videos left and right and right and left. I can't even remember how many videos that we've done, because we really want to help the horse industry get to the next level where safety becomes common knowledge. I think there's a lot of information out there. I think there's a lot of stuff to learn. I don't think safety is common knowledge. I think folks are riding around without a steering wheel and they don't know why it's not working properly. So we are going to do our very best to make that common knowledge. And it starts right there on YouTube where people can get it for the free. Virtual Horse Training Clinic, Friday, the 29th at 7 p.m. Don't miss it. Get your chance to come to a retreat, 5 days, 6 nights with us for the free.
You're not an ad. You're just a little scatterbrain.
Congrats to Miss Christine for winning a free retreat from our last virtual clinic. Miss Christine, woo! I'm scrolling. Your mouse is. You need to train your mouse better. No horse left behind challenge. Oh, that sounds fun. What do you got me signed up for?
Hey, it's not like last time. It's all fine.
Oh, this isn't a bad horse challenge. They're doing it themselves?
No. This is. You pay attention to anything that I say.
You say so much, babe. You say so much. No horse left behind challenge. Over 100 prizes being awarded. August the 15th is the deadline.
Okay.
https://vi. No horse left behind challenge application.
Goodness. Okay, to clarify, this is not the same as the Horse Health Challenge. All you have to do for this one is click the application, send it in, tell us your story.
Click the application. Tell us your story. Let us feel it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Too much coffee.
Go ahead.
We're giving away a prize to everybody who applied who's going to get something. And we're giving away 100 additional prizes on that. So
oh my gosh. All you got to do, it's kind of like the SAT whenever I was in high school. All you got to do is put your name down. You're going to get points. Okay? So for this application, all you got to do is click on the application. Tell us your story and you will win something. But on top of that, the stories that we feel, there's going to be 100 prizes being awarded. So check it out, guys. It's going to be great. Now, I'm sorry, I'm a little wired because we are working zombie hours. So that means that I had a nap and then some Cuban coffee. And I'm not used to having naps as a grown man. I feel like I'm in kindergarten. So I'm a little wired. All right. Next one up. August 6th and 7th, Kenai, Alaska.
Montana. You already kind of spoiled that one.
Yes.
Spoiled it.
Montana first, then Alaska, then Africa. We are going to Zimbabwe. And then when we get back from that, I am so excited. We are going to be doing a confidence coaching week. So my debut, my first opportunity to be a motivational speaker. I think I've been waiting about a decade for this opportunity. So it's going to be a mix of.
Be free to sign up. Details coming in the future.
Imagine Steve Harvey and Zig Ziglar having a baby that rides a horse. That's going to be me. Oh, yeah.
They're so excited. You ready for some questions?
To access over 700 videos for this summer for free.
All right,
check out the link.
You're good.
Oh,
You're
okay.
too far.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Too far. You're just supposed to read them and you spent 5 minutes on each one.
All right, so question number 1. My big boy that I use for mounted security is a Standardbred Pacer Draft. That's a mouthful. And has a wonderful, comfortable amble pace that he can do all day in, whether on a bit or on a loose rein. It looks like a pace, but very slow and easy. I was recently told by another gaited trainer, won't give any names, that is an undesirable gait and I should be forcing him to move over to a 4-beat. I want what's best for him long term. I can keep allowing him to move in this way. It's not jarring.
And very easy on your back, Nicole.
All right, Miss Nicole. So, whenever we tell you, hey, you should do this or you should do that, that's with the assumption that you don't like what is currently happening. So in this case, leave well enough alone. If it's perfect, if you're enjoying it, the simplest question that I ask my clients all the time, and it's a simple question: are you having fun? And so many people look at me with frustration and a bead of sweat coming off of their eye and flushed face and about to cry. And they're like, no. Okay, we need to make adjustments then. But if you are enjoying your horse, we don't care what his feet are doing. There are some horses that, I mean, they look like runaways to the outside world, but the person on the horse's back is having an absolute ball. In those scenarios, I say, hey, you know what you signed up for and you enjoy that. If your horse is pacing, it's nobody's right to tell you that your horse, when they say an undesired gait, it's for two reasons. In a gaited show where judges will not point pace, they're not looking for pace usually. And usually pace is hard on you because it's rough. But as far as the longevity of you and your horse, if you are enjoying your horse and having a good time and you feel safe, comfortable, confident, and it's smooth, don't change a thing. If you're happy, don't change, because it doesn't get any better than happy. Happiness is what we're chasing. This is our hobby. We do this for fun. So if you are happy doing what you are doing, don't change. Question number 2. When long lining our pony, he will break into a canter. How can we get him to relax and transition better? Miss Monique. All right, Miss Monique. The smaller the circle, the easier it is. So if you watch our long lining series, which is on our membership, which you can get for free if you check the link below, you'll see that we use the long lining. We get them going left and right, but very quickly the long lining turns into ground driving, turns into a smaller circle, and that smaller circle really slows them down and gets them softened up. So if you have a fence, every time they canter off, you can roll it back into the fence, but that's kind of the early thing to do. Very quickly, I like to get them really close to me, circling around me, really bent, soft, and easy, and that smaller circle will keep them from cantering and really kind of get in their way of using speed against you. Question number 3. Other than completing the Respect series, any other exercises for barn sour? Absolutely, Miss Patti. Think about this. The Respect series is just the tip of the iceberg. We are about to put out, we don't have Horse College out yet.
No.
Oh my goodness, do we have a treat for you, Miss Patti? We are working on Horse College. We're going to make your horse, that Palomino, wonderful, sassy thing that you got there. She's going to be a doctor. Dr. Palomino. That's what we're going to call her. We are putting out the Horse College series. So how to finish the horse.
It's a course.
We are putting out the Horse College course, which is so exciting. We are going to get your horse from graduating the Respect series, from being an old rinky-dink, country bumpkin like me with a regular schmegular public school education, to a Kelsey, where they have a master's degree, only two semesters away from being Dr. Kelsey. So exciting.
Way to throw that in there. Appreciate that. Thank you.
You want me to call you Master Kelsey?
You don't need to finish college. You're a horse trainer.
Hey, we'll call her Master Kelsey because she has her master's degree. Well, think about this. The more control that we gain of your horse, the less control they have. So you may think, oh, it's fancy broke. I don't need fancy broke. I'm just a trail rider. Oh, my goodness. No, you're not just a trail rider. Trail riders are kamikazes of the horse industry. Don't tell me you're just a trail rider. If you are a trail rider, understand that every reiner and dressage rider knows every shadow, every bush, every flower that's in the pen. They know the type of footing. They know how deep it is, how soft it is, where the judges are, every transition they're going to make. You're a trail rider. You're saying, me and my horse are so that darn good together. We're going to go out there in the wilderness and we're just going to be all right. Doesn't matter what life throws at us. We're going to make lemonade. It's going to be fine. With that being said, the more they learn, the more control you earn. The more in control you are, the less in control they are. And it's really going to help. So as you get more advanced and more fancy broke, it's going to go hand in hand with that horse not being barn sour, not being buddy sour, because there's constantly more and more things that they have to pay attention to because more and more buttons they have.
Can I add something?
Let's add it.
So I was telling her too that those exercises from the Respect series, you just have to figure out which one your horse isn't good at and they don't enjoy, and make that the repercussion for
Do what your
on.
horse sucks at. Because when you do what your horse sucks at, it takes their undivided attention, and that's what we're looking for whenever they're barn sour, buddy sour, and heat, marriage, study. Good addition, Master Kelsey.
I got you.
Master Kelsey. Sounds like Master Splinter. My quarter horse Gunny gelding sometimes rears when I ask him to lope or go somewhere he doesn't want to go. Okay. He rears when you ask him to lope. Are we at a standstill? Doesn't matter. Standstill or not at a standstill. We need to get him softer in the face and butt. For him to rear, his back feet have to be planted. Okay? So, I'm not trying to be a fortune teller, but I imagine if he's rearing when you're asking him to canter, it's very common. I see this pattern all the time, that once we get in our head that our horse is going to do something when we canter, whenever we're standing still, the reins are on their neck. When we walk them off, we pick up the reins. When we trot them off, we gather up half the reins. And by the time that we ask them to canter, since we're already worried about them crow hopping, rearing, bucking, doing whatever, we have them by the tonsils and we're asking them to go. And then they rear, or they crow hop, or they kick out, or they do something wonky. So first and foremost, make sure you're giving that horse the freedom so there's nothing to grab a hold of. We have exercises like riding the eye and power of the circle that will really help you with that. The next thing, make sure that he's soft in the face and the butt, that you can simply pick up one rein and take his butt away from him, no matter how he's feeling, no matter how fast he's going, no matter how spooked he is. That's going to give you the confidence to push him through. Whenever you guys are having your spider senses tingling and you're saying, I don't really want to crop, ask, push, kick, spurt. I don't want to push this horse because I don't know what they're capable of. That lets me know that we don't have them soft left and right, face and butt, because through that process, you've already pushed them. You've already asked them. You've already mashed on them a little bit, made them uncomfortable. And you see that you have their face and their butt. So knowing beyond knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, factual, that you have their face and their butt, no matter what happens, will give you an unprecedented amount of confidence. So that's what you need to go in search of. And that's what I look for whenever I have horses that make me second guess myself. Think bucking, running, rearing, all happens in a straight line. All three of those things, their back end is pushing. So if we can take their face off center and drive them forward, you can eliminate all three of those things. Question number 5. I'd like to get started setting Sparrow up for a flying lead changes. What exercises do I need to do so we can accomplish that when I'm there in October? Miss Christine. All right, so first things first, flying lead changes are basically our lead departures. We just happen to already be in motion. So the best thing you can do is make sure that your lead departures are beautiful, are quiet. You know, you can do 20 of them a day, where you canter them off. They get a few strides in, you relax down, break them down to nothing, set it back up, canter them off again. Every time that they canter off in that departure, their nose and their hip is to the inside. We can do this a couple ways. Either one, we can shoulder yield them outward, because what happens, their nose and their hip goes to the inside. Then you can canter them from there. Or you could be going straight and you can half pass them, which is pushing their hip and their nose to the inside. Your horse is advanced enough to start learning that. In both those scenarios, you're asking them to canter off in the exact same bend in the exact same way. You're sitting outside. You're sitting on your outside hip, back over their hip, sitting back into the outside. And you're creating a pattern where every single time that you're sitting in that place, your legs are off center, you're setting it up. They already know they're going to canter. They already know they're going to canter. They already know they're going to canter. And that canter departure becomes so easy that whenever we go to look for the change, they don't get excited. We're not poking on them. We're not pulling on them. We're not prodding on them. They simply can canter off real easily. They canter enough. You spend enough time at the canter. So a lot of times out here, when you see me working my training horses, I worked Stanley today. Stanley came in. He's a gypsy from Minnesota. When I showed him cantering around, I canter all through my park. For those of you who haven't seen my park, it's just trees and goldfish pond. There's no rhyme or reason. I picked up his left lead. I cantered him around one-handed, and everything was to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. He already knew we're on the left lead. We're going to the left. I don't know where he's going to circle, so stay between his hands and his legs. But he had already got to the point where he really didn't canter when he came. He kind of ran and get lazy. He just didn't know how to canter real good. Then we did the same thing to the right. So he was already in that process of whenever I set up the left lead, he knew we were going to be there for a while. When I set up the right lead, he knew he was going to be there for a while. So make sure your horse isn't guessing. They know what one lead feels like. They know that they're comfortable staying there. That way, whenever they're not set up for it and their hips aren't that way and their nose isn't that way and they're not going that way, anything else, they're going to be thinking, oh, should I switch? Should I be going the opposite direction? So that pattern really, you put those couple of things together and you're going to be right there where there's not very much adjustment. So many people have a hard time with flying lead changes because they haven't done the prep work. The horse isn't comfortable cantering. You know, the horse can't just lope around easily. The horse can't depart easily. And they don't hold it. They can't hold one lead and know that they're going in one direction. You put those couple of little pretty simple ingredients in, and a flying lead change becomes a lot easier to obtain. So if you do those things, that's really going to help us. Leg yielding in the canter, which you're already doing power of a circle, so you already have a leg yield, the ability to pick up their shoulder and move them around. You're already on the right track. So those couple things, make sure that you can push that hip around to the inside, you know, the way that they're already going. Those couple of things are really going to make the flying lead change a lot easier. I guess that was a country couple. There was a few things there. Miss Beth said, I don't get paid enough for this.
No, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me responding to her. Oops. Sorry. What?
You get paid in love and affection.
I need a raise.
You need a raise.
Right?
Gave you a baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. What are the dimensions of your indoor round pen? That's in the Respect Series videos. The round pen, not the one with the pole in it. 50-footer. The round pen's 50 foot, and my covered arena is 60 by 120. 50 foot is a really great round pen. I mean, smaller than that, it has its purposes, you know, for smaller than that, you know, for handling undomesticated horses is okay, but it's not good for riding because it's hard to get enough momentum to get them going. Too much bigger than 50 foot, and if they run to the other side, they can get a release momentarily away from you, and that starts to become where you really have to move your feet a lot. So 50 foot is like beautiful, right? The perfect balance almost. Number 7 is the YouTube channel where I can find the grade levels of training. Miss Kimberly. No, you have to check the link below to get our free membership, and it's going to have it all laid out just like you need it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Do not move forward until you pass them. And if you do this, I guarantee you'll find success.
You can get in for free until August 15th.
You can get in for free until August 15th.
That'll give you 3 free months.
3 free months right there. Don't say we never gave you nothing.
Got it.
All right.
Brittany wants to know when you're coming to Florida.
When am I coming to Florida? It's warm. Hopefully not anytime soon. We're in Mississippi and we're working at nighttime, and by 9 o'clock in the morning, it's a little warm. Why does my horse behave completely different at the trainer's barn than at my barn? I can't ride alone at my barn because it's a big fight and not enjoyable. I can ride at the trainer's barn, no problem. Yes, she's Barn and Buddy Sour. Your horse is educated. Huh?
That's Charlene. Sorry, I forgot her name on it.
Your horse, Miss Charlene, is educated. He knows his job. She knows her job. If you're having this issue, it's a question of respect. You want the best for your horse. You've sent your horse to a trainer. You've got your horse educated. You brought the horse back. You're doing your very best by the horse. Just because you've done all these things for the horse doesn't appreciated enough. In the animal kingdom, just like in the human kingdom, respect isn't given, it's earned. So if your horse is questioning with you and arguing with you, people and horses and dogs and all, we only argue with who we think we're going to be heard by. If you're not going to get a reaction, if you have no chance, they're not going to argue with you. So more than likely at the trainer's place, there's no slack cut to that horse, and the horse has to do its job no matter what. And even if a student rides or you show up and ride, that horse thinks, I better do my job, because if not, I'm going to have to do it anyway. So if it's changing from that, and immediately when you get home it's acting up, it's just thinking that it's not being held accountable. So it's going to be all about your ability to go earn that horse's respect. And the animal kingdom, whoever gives ground is the loser. So it's going to be all about getting that horse backing up softer and easier, getting that horse to do things that she doesn't want to do, getting her to move her feet, getting her to be soft and easy, moving her face and her butt, desensitizing her if she's spooky, moving her if she's lazy. But it's all going to be about getting her respect and her undivided attention. At this point, you know for a fact, stepping out of your door tomorrow to go see her, it's not an education thing. If you knew it last week, you know it today. So many people get lost and confused in this, and vets get rich off of this, and horses get sold off of this. The fact that a horse can be educated, know their job, know everything, and say, I think you love me. I think you are not going to make me. We don't want to have that. Your horse could be getting the better of you for 5 years, 10 years. I've seen it where people have just had a horrible time, a rotten time with a horse for a long time. They make that mental switch and say, okay, today's the day. I went to one clinic. I wasn't even in the clinic. I just audited. But I realize now the mental switch that I need to make, and I need to take leadership. I need to be in charge. I need to be mama bear, whatever you want to call it to make sense in your head. Drill sergeant, mama bear, boss, driver, whatever resonates with you. You have to be that. And understand that it's nothing new that you're teaching your horse. Your horse already speaks this language. Pressure and release, alpha and beta, peck and order. You put that horse right now into a group of horses that it doesn't know, it's going to run out, take a smell of each other, and take off running, bucking, and kicking. Oh, how cute. Our friend, our baby's making friends. They are not making friends. They are deciding who's on top of the totem pole, and they will continue to do that for 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, until they have decided who's on top of the totem pole. Once they figure that out, they're going to go back to their favorite job, which is eating your money and getting fatter. So if you want your horse's training to show back up, you just need to put your foot down, make sure you pay close attention when you're watching a respect series to make sure your spacing is correct, where you feel safe, where you feel like your horse can't retaliate or run into you or strike you or bite you or do anything funky or wonky like that, so that will give you the confidence to take charge. And if you have 1 or 2 conversations like that in a row, it's going to change the whole outcome of what's going on. Good luck. The whole MG crew is wishing you the best. Whenever I make the goofy face, I'm not zoning out. I'm looking for the next comment. I know sometimes I get comments. I think your face is glitching.
Can you count to mine?
Is this live, Joe? Yes, it is. I'm right here. You're right there. Hello. Hi, Joe.
All right, here's number 10.
Are you having me looking for number 10? You haven't posted it yet?
No, I just posted it.
Woman? Got me looking for.
You have a hard time counting in order.
Looking for her in the daytime with a flashlight. Mm-hmm. Do you think Arturo can be built into a Fandango type with your help for the XCAD, team pinning, etc., or just not the right build or bloodlines, Miss Debbie?
Fandangos are milked from lots and lots and lots of vitamin A.
I think Arturo can be Fandango, no problem. Fandango, she's talking about, for those of you who are watching who don't know who Fandango is my personal horse, and actually,
your pet, your baby.
Fandango got picked. Oh, Fandango. Want to buckle? That's Fandango's rope and buckle. What? A rope and buckle off of Paso. All right, I'm sorry. No more buckle shots. Anywho, Fandango, actually, I picked him in the middle of my showing. When I was showing, And believe it or not, don't tell Fandango, I picked him for my horse because I didn't think that he was uber talented as a gaited horse. Gaits beautifully, but I did not think that he was uber talented to be a ridiculously high level show horse. And with that thinking and with that thought process, I said, okay, he's kind of lazy compared to the other horses that I had at the time. And I'm learning all these new things. I'm just going to use him as my guinea pig. And Fandango has been my guinea pig. And in the process of being my guinea pig, there you go. In the process of being my guinea pig, Fandango has learned how to be a Western horse. He proved to me that a gaited horse can be a Western horse, completely spin and slide, use sliders, pick up lead departures. He won a Western Pleasure National Championship, can drive a cart, can lay down, can sit down, can do liberty. So what you're asking me is, can your horse be a utility horse? Can they do everything? Absolutely. If you're open-minded enough to show them, then they're going to be willing to do it. And the crazy thing is, if you're that open-minded enough to try that much stuff and spend that much time with them, it's amazing what they'll learn. It's amazing what they'll pick up. Fandango doesn't have very many bad days because every time out of the barn, out of the stall, he's thinking, well, what are we going to do today? Are you going to be an obstacle horse today, a gaited horse today, a Western Pleasure horse today, a reining horse today, a sorting horse today, a roping horse today, a soccer horse today, a shooting horse today? All of these things are things that I wanted to dabble in, to try, to go take a clinic, Fanny went with me to go hang out with Stacy Westfall and got tutelage from Stacy Westfall, from Richie Winkler. Fanny probably has a dozen mentors outside of me that we have gone and learned with and picked stuff up from. Fandango's the first Paso that I put sliders on. I didn't know how that was going to work. I looked at my farrier and said, hey, do you think Pasos would work with sliders? My reiner mentor said, well, I don't know. The farrier looked at me like, really? On a Paso? I was like, well, let's try it. Sure enough, we put it on him, cantered him down the pin, and he sat on his butt, and it was easy peasy. So can Arturo be a Fandango? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you're willing to put in the time and you're willing to be that open-minded, that's the biggest thing, open-minded. That was the biggest thing that made him basically just a Swiss Army knife. And as I was so open-minded, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, buddy?
You say hello?
So this is Fandango right here.
Are you spoiled?
Oh.
What do you think, buddy? Can you say hi?
So,
say hello?
Can your horse be a Fandango? Any horse can be a Fandango. Fandango isn't Fandango from a physical, natural gift. Fandango is open-mindedness, and he is willing. He is a willing horse, but so much of that comes just from going through the respect series and doing so much stuff with them. Really makes them where they're willing, makes them where they want to do stuff. Whenever they don't get in that monotonous, we're doing the same thing every day routine, it's pretty easy for the horses. Like Stanley was a Gypsy Vanner Haffy cross. So you imagine Gypsy Vanner and Haffy, you don't think very hyper type horse. And when I say he was a good bit lazy, when he came, I felt in some of my rides that it would have been easier to walk than to take him, because that's how much he didn't want to work. When his owner showed up today,
are you open on him tonight?
when I had his owner show up today, he completely one-handed. He roped, he walked, trot, canter, he went everywhere, and he was happy to do it. But we did so many things with him over the past 60 days that somewhere along the way, he was like, oh, I don't know what we're going to do today. Up to that point, he had been basically a trail horse. So every time out, they're just kind of kicking him and cropping him just to walk down a trail. And he had just got lethargic and lazy. And over the course of 60 days, he had really got where, I don't know what we're going to do today. He had actually, you can kind of tell who's in our good graces in our training program and who's giving us a hard time. I'm going to tell you a secret. The tough horses we work in the morning. Okay. we do that. We work them in the morning just in case they give us a hard time. We can work them again in the evening, give them a 2 a day. The horse that are good and are kind of going with the program and being easy with us, we ride them in the evening. A lot of times there's not too much of a ride. We'll go and we'll have a roping practice, or we'll go play soccer. We'll play a game with them. And that really breeds in the, oh, I don't know what we're going to do today. I'm excited to see what happens when I come out of my stall. And that's really what you see in Fandango there is he doesn't know what he's going to do when he comes out of the stall. So he's excited about it because we've done so many things. So understand, when you see a really cool horse like that, that's a horse that anybody can build and anybody can make, because that is all just time, energy, and effort. Yeah. Is it a willing horse? Yeah, he's pretty willing, but there's no real, he's not a physical specimen that's what makes him special. It's not like a world-class reining horse or an Olympic level dressage horse that if you don't have the athlete, you can't build it. A horse that dabbles in everything and kind of knows a little bit of everything and has some really cool buttons and is fancy broke and can do bridleless and can ride in a parade, that can be any horse, guys. Any horse that you want to. You just have to be willing to stick it out. Me and that guy have thousands and thousands of hours working together, riding together. And the other thing that we have is we have a bunch of different stages. We have a bunch of different career paths together where, oh, let's be a reiner. And we tried reining, for 6 months, a year, 2 years dabbling on and off in reining with them. Oh, let's be a rope horse. Fandango and I've been roping for 2 years, on and off, chasing steers around. Luckily, it was after reining, so he already had kind of a handle to work with. Whenever we were doing tricks, I had 7 different Liberty mentors, and he was my main Liberty horse. So he learned so many different ways to be a Liberty horse. The crazy thing now is I look back on Fandango's career and how long it took me to build him. And he could know the same things that he knows now. If I started him again from scratch today, he could do that same time in an eighth of the time that it took me to make him. Because when I was making him, I didn't know so many of these things, these things, even my mentors would look at me, I don't know if you could.
How many mentors have you had with that horse? How many mentors have you been through? Name the disciplines.
I'd say that horse has to have
dressage,
30
Liberty,
mentors.
trick training, chart training.
Well, just in Liberty, that's my main Liberty horse. I've had 7 Liberty mentors, so that's 7 right there. Reining mentors, I've had probably half a dozen reining mentors. Trick mentors, I've had 3 or 4. I've had 3 cart mentors. I've had 3 cowboy mounted shooting mentors. I've had 4 roping mentors.
2 or 3 dressage.
2 or 3, yeah. Yeah, jumping. Yeah, I forgot. We took him to a jumping farm and we jumped jumps with him for a couple lessons. Turns out he's not much of a jumping horse. He's so brave that he just runs over whatever you put in front of him. Like, no, you're supposed to jump over it. He said, no, you told me to never jump. I said, no, but this time is different. So yeah, you guys can make a Fandango out of anybody. It's kind of like a dog that doesn't have, when I say doesn't have a job, whenever you are going to have an elite level hunting dog or bird dog, you better have some breeding into it, right? Well, for Fandango, but the dog that has all the little tricks that can roll over and sit down and stand up and hold his paws up and bring you a beer and do this, and you can kind of do that with anything. You can do that with a mutt. You can do that with any breeder dog. You can do it with a poodle. You can do it with Chihuahua. You can do it really whatever. The Chihuahua might have a hard time grabbing the beer. But what I'm getting at is all that Swiss Army type thinking where you just kind of do a little bit of everything. Guys, you can do this. Anybody watching this can do this with the horse that you have at home. But when I say that, there's a big but, like the Kardashians. But you got to have the fundamentals. You got to have the respect and the undivided attention and that safety and that confidence first. That's where everything blossoms from. Once you have that, then you're not constantly going back and picking on that. That horse respects you. That horse is listening to you and is paying attention. From there, it's very easy to layer on all this information. And a lot of folks will see Fandango, say, oh my gosh, he's so freaking smart.
He's the smartest boy.
He's very respectful, and he's always paying attention. That makes for a very good student. Think about that. Think about how many people you knew growing up that were hella smart, just hellaciously intelligent, and made nothing. And other folks who were really interested in school or interested in their craft or interested in whatever field that they were going on, and they made straight A's not because they were the smartest. Now, society would tell us that they're smart because they made A's, but it's because they were focused. They were respectful of what the teacher was teaching, and they were paying attention to everything, and they were studying. Give me that horse that is respectful, and give me that horse that is giving me its undivided attention over a talented horse any day of the week, because that horse is going to thrive. And even when we were competing at the highest levels, my mindset was still like that. At the highest levels, you got to have a good athlete. I would much rather a good athlete that tries hard and is paying attention and is focused than an amazing world-class athlete that is not trying, because that work ethic and that focus is really going to help you every time.
You've got some other random ones.
Okay. Again, face is going to glitch out. I'm not having a stroke. I'm just reading. Let's see what we have here. Thanks to your methods, my boy has went from a pasture plug I bought him sight unseen 2 years ago to doing crowd control at large music festivals, gaited dressage, any trails I want to do, and I could ride him solo with all the confidence in the world. I never saw myself doing these things. Team MG for the wins. Thank you, Miss Nicole. Congratulations.
And a bunch of pictures with theme parks behind her.
That is freaking awesome. That's what we like to hear.
Charlene says you're an amazing teacher. Donna Wilson says PFHA needs to up the game for Superhorse.
Yes. Yes, Miss Donna. So, absolutely. But I've seen folks come in and bring Cowboy Mountain Shoe, bring in their game, and then be kind of the only talent in town that can do something like that. And that is awesome, and kudos. But instead of trying to show Paso folks who are kind of focused on the show ring that they can do other things, instead of doing that, you know what I like even better than that? I love being the only Paso out of 108 teams in my division, probably 1,000 roping runs in one day. So think how many runs that is, 1,000 runs in one day. I was the only Paso that left the box. I was the only gaited horse that left the box. You get more views like that. Warming up, and everybody's trotting around and jarring their teeth out, getting the horse warmed up, and I'm going, well, feller, what kind of horse is that? Is that one of them Tennessee Walkers? No, sir, that's a Pasofino. I can't wait to see him rope. I bet it's going to be funny. They think it's funny until you walk away with their buckle. Then they're not laughing so much. Fanny and I get the last laugh now. When are we doing a mounted shooting course?
That's from Alex. Let us get your horse broke first.
Yes. Hey, that's my buddy Alex. He married a horse girl. Everybody say a prayer for him. We got his colt, and we're getting her nice and broke. Matter of fact, is she going to be in the virtual clinic?
We did her last weekend.
She was the last weekend. That's Alex's horse there. So everybody give him a round of applause. Got a cool little filly coming up. But yes, we will get her where she is shooting. How old is Fandango? Fandango has to be 8 or 9?
Getting ready to turn 7, I think. Right?
7?
I think he's getting ready to turn 7.
Really?
He was a 4-year-old at Nationals, no?
He's got to be 8 or 9. I don't know. I got to check it. It feels like forever.
Because Cody's older than him. So.
You think Katiana is going to come around? Katanya. Yes, Miss Katanya is going to come around. Absolutely. So Miss Katanya.
She definitely was not top of the list this week.
So Miss Katanya is a Mustang mare, and she's in shape. Round is a shape. She's large and in charge. She's not very tall. She's easier to jump over and run around. But when she is great and she's so sweet and so kind and and you could tell that somebody really loves her somewhere. And when you go to work her, everything's fine. But when she's uncomfortable, she locks up that steering wheel, and I went redneck skiing behind her, holding on to that rope. Whoa, whoa. I had 2 skid marks that went all the way around my round pen where I locked up my boots and put them in the dirt, and she just took me. She said, son, you don't weigh enough. She just took me. But yes, we are absolutely going to have her come around the corner. She is going to be awesome. She has my undivided attention. In all these scenarios, it really doesn't matter what's happening or what they're doing. What's awesome about her is she was honest enough to tell us, hey, if you do this or do that, you won't be able to stop me. So great. She showed that. So we're going through a whole bridling program, a whole long lining program, just to get her so ridiculously soft that anybody is going to be able to hop on and ride her. Oftentimes the horses that start like that will oftentimes be the easiest and the brokest, because you will do so many things to get them soft and easy that by the time that they're finished and done, they are the most freaking bomb-proof horses out there. I was at your colt starting retreat in February with my little foxtrotter. She has turned out awesome. Trail rides like she's done it forever. Has never tested me. Yes,
so
I remember her.
She got her first 5 rides.
That is awesome, Miss Valerie. I'm so happy to hear it. These guys came to the colt starting retreat where all the horses there were colt starts, and we got them up and going out and about.
A couple of them went on the obstacle course. I think she went to the obstacle course, no?
Yeah. She was one of the superstars. Superstar.
All right. There's something else that I'm missing.
Oh, you think you're not reading enough?
Was Fia a 2 a day?
Was Fia a 2 a day?
With her cantering.
No.
She said, I don't want to canter twice a day. This is not fun.
No. I think we used Miss Fia. She may have had one or two a days. Basically, it's as simple as this.
Depends on if she was sassy or not.
Exactly. You use it against them. If they're lazy, you'll use it against them. The hardest time they give you, then you'll work them more. And then the moment that they give in, you're giving them light rides.
Okay.
And that's how you get them where they're wanting to work. They're coming out trying to work so they don't have to work hard. Also, my Paso is riding, carrying flags and rodeos because of you. Thank you. No, thank you, Miss Faith, for putting in all that hard work. Everyone loves to see such a different looking horse with a run with the quarter horses. Absolutely. That's exactly my point. I love doing things with the PFHA. I was raised in the PFHA, but Paso people know what Pasos look like. I love to go places that people don't even know what kind of horse it is.
It's so funny to watch, like the ropers. They'll be gone the whole time because it's a rope and it's not real fun if you're there all day. It's fine. If you enter them up a lot, it's really cool when they have to go back to back. But you just watch and Fanny comes in the arena and everybody's like drawn to him. They're all looking at him. They're all having conversations. It's like, I wonder what they're saying about him. Tiki, 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 tiki. Sorry.
All right, what's next? Hey, Michael, have you ever tried endurance racing? Any advice on how to go about that? My Paso, Kai and I are getting started, but she's in excellent shape.
Tell us.
I have had a little endurance ride. I once competed in this race called the Mongol Derby.
Tell them how much prep you had.
Hey,
you went on one like 14-mile ride prior to Mongolia. One.
I went on multiple 6-mile rides.
No, 6. You went on one 14-mile ride. You said, I'm going to go race across Mongolia. I'm going to be gone for, 2 weeks and go 900 miles or whatever, something stupid.
My advice is get your horse.
Don't start with that.
Get your horse moving long and low. Remember, the lower their head is when they're going, they don't have to be, head in the dirt. But if you get them to drop their head, it will slow down their heart rate. A lot of times, especially for the Pasos, they have a quick heart rate. So vets that don't know them could give you a hard time about it. So make sure that on a button, you can drop your horse's head or even have them where they're covering ground where they are either trotting or gaiting kind of flat. And that's going to really lower their heart rate. And then it's just a matter of just starting to build up your rides little by little where you start to be able to go further and further. And the horse is just comfortable on that real loose rein, just covering ground. And that's really where you're going to be able to do good. But your horse should be able to do it, no problem.
Oh, Renee's helping you out there. You'd think you'd know that considering you were planning to compete there.
Oh, yeah.
Minor details.
Hi, guys. This is Miss Deanne from Colorado with Gypsy, and I wore the dress at your clinic. How do you fit a bridle on a small Paso? Got a mare who rears, and I don't think I have a bridle fitted correctly. All right. So, regardless of the size of the head of the horse, if you're talking about a bridle as far as a bit, oddly enough, I don't really look at the mouth because some horses will pull it up in their mouth. I like to put a finger under the headstall, under the bridle, and pull it off. And I want it to not be snug up against their face, but I want it to have a little tension here. If I pull it way far away, well, I'm going to tighten it up until it has a little tension. And when I let it goes right back to their face. Some horses, you can look at the wrinkles in their mouth and they'll grab the bridle, which will put wrinkles in their mouth. But then they have a whole bunch of slack in there. So whenever you start riding around, it drops way low in their mouth. So.
And double check too, Diana. Make sure that horse goes soft and easy through the respect series in a halter. You work in a snaffle. If you're seeing resistance in any of those things, go back and fix the problem before you go back to the bridle being the thing.
The other thing, make sure that you're doing everything to the left and the right, the left and the right. Any horse I'm even thinking that possibly might rear, might buck, might do anything with me. When I hop on, everything is to one side until I see them soften and flatten out, until I see their back give, until I see that they really don't want to argue. And that's when I'm letting them straighten up.
Yes, this one's funny.
That Mongol Derby was better than any TV show.
So by contract, you couldn't share your journey on social media. But Michael did like a video journey log the whole time he was there. And during the retreats, we try to do that for one of the lunchtime adventures. And he's a little bit of a potty mouth, so we can't really share it on here.
I was only a potty mouth the last 600 miles.
Mm-hmm. How long was the race?
621 miles.
Okay. It's all fine. It's all fine. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this is the same lady we were just talking with.
Yeah, so fire breathing dragon, straight up and square. Everything is
get her soft and easy.
To the left and the right to get her head down. Left and right. And pick on one side and pick on one side and circle to one side and pick on one side until she's looking to put her head down. You do that, you'll stop the rearing. My Paso does not seem to have a Largo gait. He has an awful trot. Is this due to my inability to get him in that gait? Or is he a Trosha Paso? I imagine that he has a gait. If he's trotting, I imagine that he's kind of flattened out. So his butt's kind of behind him. And we want to get the ability to pick his head up and drive his back end underneath him. So that's really going to be think about trotting on this end of the spectrum and pace on this end of the spectrum. Whenever you want to get pace fixed, usually that's a high-headed tennis tight horse. You get them relaxed, drop their head, soft and easy. That's going to get them gaiting. Your trotty horse, usually you want to stop them with your hands high a couple times and drive them with energy to make those back feet land.
Okay, so we can't see a name on this one, but it's funny because I don't know which little
we are riding
mare.
the little
Which
mare
one? Which one?
that like to throw herself on the ground. Thank you for all the help. I could have it.
Couldn't have done it without you. Good try.
Coming down and working. Oh, I think those are the retreaters.
Which ones?
The ones that have the mare throw stuff on the ground. So.
We have had multiple red mares trying to throw themselves.
Is
Maybe
it a red
Tracy?
mare? No,
is it Tracy Brock?
No, it's not a red mare. I bet it was that little Grula mare.
Again, which one?
Well,
we have lots of horses that.
We are so happy for you.
We're glad that it's working out. We're super excited for you. That's funny.
Respect series question.
Hey, so Kelly's actually going to be featured in one of our new emails whenever we do the horse course and the launch. Her story's on there. Super exciting. Okay, sorry. Continue. Read the question out loud.
Oh, I'm reading it in my head.
Don't read it in your head.
My Mustang mare passes first grade with flying colors. She puts her head down and I can touch her head and ears with my hands. Second grade, she's good with the rope and the flag everywhere except her upper neck and above her ears. Do I keep second grade until she's good with that? Or do I proceed to other grades and continue to work on desensitizing her head and ears? I think you continue to work while continue moving forward. Whenever I do that, though, and they have a problem with their ears, I like to use the flag stick because it gives you that extension of your arm, and they can fiddle fart around with it, but they can't get away from it. So that's really going to be your expedited way of getting her to be chill about her head and neck as opposed to your hands or the rope or something that you can't really control, she can get those releases. That flag stick, there's no release. So flag stick is going to get you the expedited results that you are looking for. And you get a little give just where she passes. Passes means she's not running you over, running away from you. Keep moving forward and come back.
Looking for passing, not perfection. So she can be nervous, she can be intimidated by it, but as long as she get off of the bun, as long as she does what she's supposed to pass the grade level, it's going to get better and better every time you do it.
My 11-year-old daughter is getting super excited to take our Paso to our county fair this year for the 4-H. She will have the only Paso, and she is having a blast showing him at local shows and things with only one. Absolutely. It's awesome to be the unique one. Do any of your horses have a saddle fit issues with your saddle that you sell? The Keister 2000? We haven't heard of any. We haven't got any complaints in, nor have we had any issues.
We ride them on everything.
with our training horses.
I have a good saddle pad too. So many people want to buy a great saddle but not use a good quality saddle pad. Like, use something that's going to last a long time.
What are your thoughts on starting horses at 6 or 9 years old? I'm looking at buying a well-handled horse because of the situation. They have not been mouthed or backed. They easy to float, catch, have their teeth and feet done regularly. Awesome. We do it all the time, quite frankly. It's very doable. Is it a little bit more difficult? You just have to be a little bit more persistent, because a 6 or 9 year old is going to be more persistent than a 3-year-old. Just like in human beings, the military wants 18-year-olds. They're trying to pre-sign them and do, middle school ROTC to have them already know that they're going to the military, because it's easier to get an 18-year-old to do something that is new and strange than it is to get a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old. Could you do it? Absolutely. So could you start a 6 or 9-year-old? Absolutely. The key is start like they know nothing. Start like they're 3 years old, like you would start anybody else, and just assume nothing and start from scratch.
Overnight. It's probably the easiest answer to that, especially with horses right now. We just had a client come that left at 3:30 yesterday, and they just got in about 5 o'clock today. It is hot to be having horses on the trailer right now. So,
and it's easy to pop tires.
Yeah, which is also not fun. A lot easier to not.
Changing tires, and this sucks too.
How many tires have you changed?
What?
Haven't you taken the semi most of the places when you've had tires blow out?
No, I've had the semi like a year before we got together.
Oh, okay. Well, if you wouldn't hit the curb with my trailer, I wouldn't have to change tires on the side of the road.
Well, if you didn't make me drive, you're supposed to be the daughter of a trucker.
Sorry.
She said, I'm the daughter of a trucker. You'll never have to drive again.
I never
and then the
said
second
that.
we got married, the second we got
No.
married, she hasn't drove a truck again.
No,
I don't know if she can drive.
You believe that because you're the one person.
When we were dating, I didn't drive anywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, I have found my dream woman. I'll never have to drive to a horse show again. I don't think she's sat in the driver's seat. She doesn't know what the left side of the vehicle looks like.
I like to sleep though. I know what my eyelids look like. Backside.
Do you believe in pressure to get a horse to do what you want? I know someone who never uses pressure and has a beautiful connection with their owner. Miss Donna, that is awesome. And positive reinforcement is great. I do a lot of positive reinforcement training with Liberty and trick training. And really overall, finishing a horse is positive reinforcement. I mean, you look and lean and they get there and they get this beautiful release. So absolutely. The problem that I have with only and being so narrow-minded to think that's the only style of training is your urge to get a treat or a cookie or something like that goes out of the window when you are fearing for your life, whenever you are uncomfortable, whenever the pressure is put on you. In those moments, when that's happening, the positive reinforcement by itself will go out the window. So
it won't save you.
So if you are hoping and needing that horse to have a cookie to stop or to turn, and I've seen it all. I mean, I've seen Liberty riding. So just riding and everything is taught from the stop, the turn, the spin, the everything. Hey, I'm going to click to you, clicker training. I'm going to give you a cookie. That's how we're going to stop. That's awesome. Okay. But when that horse gets out there and you're not expecting it, and another horse on the trail that you're on with 20 other horses kicks out and hits your horse, and that horse gets uncomfortable, there's going to be no thought of a cookie. And that clicking is not going to work in those stressful moments. So that's where the pressure and release really comes into play, and then really understanding how to come back to you. So that's why we believe in both, and we do both. And anytime really that I see people advocating for one thing and they're so stuck on one thing, I feel like they've had success with somebody or somewhere, but enough success to look at horsemanship through a keyhole. What I mean by that is, do you know what we're willing to do to train a horse? Anything. If it needs to be dressage, if it needs to be Western, if it needs to be pressure and release, if it needs to be positive reinforcement, if whatever we need to do, that's the whole point of, the story about Fandango knowing all these things. It wasn't because I wanted Fandango to know all these things, because I wanted to know all these things. So if there was ever a horse that I was, not able to communicate with, I could try different things. I could try new things. So that's really the big difference. You see that a lot with Liberty. Liberty is absolutely awesome. I do Liberty with my horses. I enjoy it, but it's all positive reinforcement. That there's not a lot of pressure and release. And the crazy thing is, when things get uncomfortable, they can leave, and you just have to be okay with that. So that's the difference of the pressure and release versus the positive reinforcement, is that in a pinch, in a bind, when your horse gets uncomfortable, when your horse gets stuck, gets his feet stuck in vines, or a turkey pops out of the bush, or things like that, that pressure and release and that respect series and having their face in their butt is really going to come into play, and you're really going to be able to control the situation. Where if everything is positive reinforcement, you can have an amazing connect. Your horse can mean you no malice, can mean you no harm, and you can still get hurt.
Well, and something that we like too, and you see us do all the crazy things, and you see the Thunderdome, and you see all the wild things that happen here. We want these training horses to go through chaos and be scared and be intimidated and see things and realize at the end of the day, they're okay. That we're not going to put them in a situation where they're going to get hurt, that we're going to be their leader, that there's no reason for them to stress. And then it's crazy how people will see stuff. We have people all the time that send us videos or tell us that they took their horse somewhere and did something with them, and they didn't even blink at it. And it's like, we didn't desensitize your horse to a Ferris wheel. We didn't desensitize your horse inside a parade. We didn't do all these things, but because they've been through so much in that time, they know, okay, even if I get a little uncomfortable, I'm going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to work through this. Pay attention to my rider. Everything's good. And it's amazing how time and time again, as you repeat that process, that they get just an overall sense of calmness and, through the chaos, that, okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
And think about it like this too. Do you believe in pressure to get a horse to do what you want? It's a lot of people, when they hear the word pressure, they think that the horse is getting a whooping, or the horse is getting cropped or spurred. Or it's all mental. It's mental pressure. It's, hey, there's going to be mental discomfort for some horses, especially these Pasos and Arabians and Saddlebreds and things like that. You just kiss at them. You just look at, that's pressure. That's mental pressure. And you're using that to your advantage for them to start looking to be on the same page as you and make the choices that you want them to make, so that they can go on to live a good life. And the idea of them being comfortable in chaos, the idea of them being comfortable under distress, is really setting them up for success in the future. The idea of only positive reinforcement and doing everything that you can do for that horse to never be uncomfortable. And
the second you get them home from training and you make them uncomfortable, then it's our fault. I've had
set down conversation with people who believe in this, and we sit down over dinner and talk about it, discuss it. And I just want my horse to be comfortable at all times. I have a beautiful connection with them, a lovely connection, 6 feet, 2 hearts, 1 dream. And we want to have this beautiful connection. And I love the idea of all that stuff. That's the equivalent, though, of doing your very best. I have a newborn.
She's 8 months old. She's
crazy. So I want her to live farm life. I want her to sweat. I want her to work an honest day's work. I want her to be uncomfortable, so that when she gets out there in the real world,
the real world is not comfortable,
and the real world punches her in the mouth, she can deal with it and be okay. I feel like kids who are sheltered and everything is
rainbows and butterflies,
positive reinforcement, and hey, life's going to be great, and no matter what happens, there's not going to be any hard days. You're going to be comfortable. We're not doing those kids any favors, and then they're going to fall apart when life gets hard, and it will at some point. Well, our training is the same ideology. We mean them no harm. They're never going to be and we're never trying to put them in physical danger, but we want them to be okay with mental distress so that when the world gets hard, they can listen, they can focus. You can depend on them. Just like your first responders, just like your soldiers, just like your EMTs and your firefighters, is be comfortable with chaos so you can listen to direction. And that's just the exact same ideology of boot camp and the police academy and the fire academy and EMT school. It's the same thinking. It's the same process. Being able to speak so clearly, so simply that they can listen under distress so that they can make educated decisions whenever the time comes.
And this is the same thing, like we said earlier about the horse that was trotting or pacing and somebody told them that their horse shouldn't be doing that. If you are comfortable with it, if you have done methods like that and you have your perfect horse and everything is fantastic with that, we are never going to tell you to change your method, because some things work for everybody. It's just from our experience, what we've been through. Do a couple more that you can go rope.
I'm retraining my Paso, and she is partially blind in one eye, so she only sees shadows. Been going through your method and teaching constant voice and sound cues. She is doing amazing. She's much calmer. Do you have any other tips to help her be more calm on that side? The softer you get her, the calmer she'll be. A lot of times we are trying to hide from that eye, or we're trying to act different, act special, and the horse acts different and acts special. When blind horses come to us, we've had horses with no eyes. We've had horses with one eye. We've had horses with glaucoma. We've had horses with partial vision. You can't treat them special because they will act special. If you are acting careful around them, they will act like a horse that you always have to be careful around. So work on getting them soft and easy, long line her, get her soft left and right, and expect her to do well. If you look on here, Miss Wendy has Fireball. Fireball is a Rocky Mountain that was a spooky, jumpy little joker whenever he came. And he has one eye. He's blind in the other eye. And she is doing freaking amazing on him. And every time that I see her, she's working on something more advanced. Okay, well, what's the next thing in my advancement of my horsemanship? And they're growing together. But we had to get over the victim mentality and stop treating him special, because he was acting special, real special.
Not real special, on the special spectrum. Okay, he didn't even rank on the special spectrum.
We were treating him special.
Look, Wendy's on here. Hi, Wendy.
Miss Wendy, her horse was getting treated special and was acting special. Now he acts like the awesome horse that he can be, because we're treating him like the awesome horse we expect him to be. Absolutely. Standards are everything. Hi, my guy has a tendency to cut into the center of the arena when I ask him for the lope. It is like he drops his shoulder and turns super sharp in the other direction, like his turnaround of the barrel. But that is not what I'm asking for. And most of the times, there are no barrels in the arena. I keep his feet moving and keep asking until I get some lope steps. Always end up on a good note, but he still does it. Any advice? All right, Miss Alicia, I need you to do Power of the Circle. You got to check it out. To have Power of the Circle, you got to have three things. You got to have their head, you got to be able to move their butt, and you got to be able to move their shoulder. The same way you do it in first grade, you come back and you'll do that under saddle. And then from there, you're going to do an exercise called Power of the Circle. And that,
after you get through the Respect series, then Power of the Circle. Again, you guys have access until August 15th to get signed up for free to the membership club. And if the last date that you sign up is August 15th, then you have that membership for 3 months past that date. So if you have not done this, if you haven't got in, even if you just want to get in for the free for 3 months and that's it, get out, whatever, go do it. Go try these things with your horses, find success. All we care about at the end of the day is you are making some progress with your horse. Sorry, that was my soapbox. It's fine. I have to make up for all the things that you add, 6 hours worth of promo to. It's all right. Can't be trusted.
Well, thank you guys so much.
2 more comments.
2 more. Okay. I've been watching all of your online videos and doing the Respect series to work through some issues with my horse. My husband laughs every time I finish the video and head to the barn. He said my horse wants to disconnect the internet. I can understand that.
Whoops. It's like whenever Michael goes to a mentor and he comes home and all the training horses are like, why does he leave here? Because, for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks after that, every horse is doing whatever it is that he had to do. Okay.
We have a mare who's blind in one eye, and we treated her like a normal horse, and she responded. My mom told me she listens to other horses in the field when they're on her blind side. Once I realized that, it made all the difference in the world. Absolutely. Guys, how many hundreds of thousands of driving horses drive with blinders on? How many racing horses go with blinders on? There's so many horses that were blinding on purpose with blinders, and they perform fine. But those horses are being guided with leadership and being told what to do. So many times when I go to clinics and I go to these places and blind horses or partially blind horses or deaf horses are having issues, people are acting different. They're not guiding them. And if you don't drive it, it's amazing how it won't go where you want it to go. You have to drive it. So treat them like a normal horse and start driving them and showing them, do everything in your power to show them what you want, where they can understand what you're asking of them. It's amazing the difference that clarity will make for you.
Last one.
Hey,
till next week.
I barrel race and my mare just completely ignores me and runs right through me. All she thinks about is speed no matter what I do. I can take her off the pattern to the next race. I can only do slow work. Nothing works. Advice. Yes, soft.
Respect series. Soft.
We need softness. When that horse respects your bridle more than it respects the urge to run the pattern, you will have the control that you need. As long as that dog is more excited to go chase the cat, it will never do obedience. When the dog respects your leash more than it respects the urge to go get the cat, it will no longer chase the cat. Well, it's the same way when you're trying to rehab a show horse or rehab a performance horse or rehab a blown up barrel horse or a blown up roping horse in the box, whatever it is, you have to get them paying attention to you more than what's out there. They can still know their job. They can still know how to do it, but they have to pay attention to you and wait for you. So it's all about how soft can we get them? How respectful can we get them? So think more about reining than you're thinking about barrel racing. If we can get that horse doing power of a circle, after you do the respect series, do power of the circle, just like our other comment up there that has the horse that just barrels the shoulder in there. If you can do that, that's really, really going to help you, because power of the circle is the best exercise I've ever seen out of all my travels, all of my studies, to get a horse honest and staying in between your hands and legs at any speed forward, no matter how fast we're going. It really shows them, if you dive in, I'm going to pick up your shoulder, make you uncomfortable. If you run away, I'm going to pull your face over your butt and redirect you. If you stay between my hands and my legs, if you stay going where I'm looking, 2 hands, 2 legs, that's where we're going, you're going to be comfortable. If you do that, you'll be able to get that horse back on the pattern and move in the way that you want. Guys, y'all have been an awesome crowd to talk to tonight. And I look forward to talking to you. Next time I talk to you, I have already done a rodeo up in Montana.
You're in the rodeo, right?
I'm excited. That's right. First time, one shot, one opportunity.
Is it Tika's first time in a rodeo?
Yeah, it's her first time competing in roping at all.
Okay.
Yeah. The horse that I'm jump riding has never competed in roping. And when she was here, she came here earlier this year.
She's a little sassy.
And just getting her riding and cantering was kind of a big deal. But, hey, one chance, one opportunity. Got to risk it for the biscuit.
It's a sold-out clinic, so it's going to be fun. Super excited. Hey, you haven't clinicked in a while. Should be good. I'm not going to be there because flights are enough to buy another horse, which I might stay here and do that anyway.
Guys, there's no excuse. If you have a friend, a grandmother, a kid, hey, if you're real slick, if somebody has a birthday coming up, you gift them the membership because it's free. It'll be awesome. Here.
Take it.
I got this just for you. Thank you guys so much for
guys.
watching. We'll see you.
Toodles. See you next week. Actually, see you Friday. YouTube, 7 p.m. virtual clinic. Come hang out with us. Bye, guys.